and there's some really cringe work that I don't want to put on the internet on the next page. Hello, it's me, Beth. Sup? I look especially pink today. We reppin', like, I went to a pop-up shop. Oh my god, okay, let me just go on a quick tangent. You know I love small businesses. Me and Holly went out to like a pop-up shop in Bristol. I got these really cute earrings and it's like fluffy boy. And I'm so cozy even if it is like 18 degrees today, which is like pretty warm. I finished secondary school in 2017. It is currently 2021. That means it has been 4 years since I graduated. Thank fuck. Literally, school was the worst experience of my life. I fucking hated it. Words cannot describe my hatred for school. But one thing I did like was art. Hey, I'm an art bitch. Always surprised. I feel like 90% of the girls who did art are now gay. Or halfway gay. Am I wrong? So yeah, I thought today we should roast some of my old sketchbooks because I've really been getting into like more traditional forms of art recently. I've been working really hard on panel art, like I'll pop some pictures here like of some anime characters I've been doing for my Etsy shop, and I've gotten a few commissions, and like I'm working on COVID passes that are all like custom made and like painted and drawn and stuff. Basically what I use for panel art is I use acetate, which is what I used to use back in school. Like that is like my medium of choice. Like I know how to use that. I used to use Chinagraph quite a lot. I don't think I ever specifically used acrylic like markers or pen, which I really regret now, but I just didn't know they existed or like what options for me. So I think my overall grade for art was a C or a B. Like I averaged like CB, mainly because I got a lot of special condition marks. Anyway, so I have two sketchbooks. This one was my like main one that I used for the 2 years, and then this was like my final major project one, which I didn't actually use that much. As you can see, it's quite empty. I haven't looked at these in years. I found them in a box that was in my garage. I'm scared. Okay, so let's do this one first. The first page is obviously just my school. Oh, Jesus Christ. The first page says, "It's not art unless it has the potential to be a disaster," which I feel rings very true. And then here's some artist research I did on Santana Gohain, which I'm pretty sure we had to do this because we were doing like layering and stuff, which again is why like everything is all like cut up and rustic looking. Well, not rustic looking, but like DIY looking. Oh my god, okay, I remember, little backstory, Beth was very into tattoos then. Shocker now, I know, because I've got 3. By the time this goes up, I'll probably have 5. But I was really into like tattooing and fine line and stuff. So this was one thing that I did. So let's start with this actually. I remember the first week we had our art class, we had to learn about like pencil tones. And this was my first ever like etching drawing, I guess I did. Yeah, it's alright actually, considering I'd never done tonal before. It's not that bad, it's pretty cool. And I remember I added this piece way later on, like I painted over whatever was originally here. I wish I could tell you, I don't know. As you can tell, I was very into layering. Just got a cool tattooed woman with flowers everywhere, which is actually really weird looking back at it. Like, oh shit, I have a tattoo which is the same concept as that. That's fucking weird. Anyway, so for like my first project, I remember like, I can't remember what our themes were, because I remember we had like set themes, but I wanted to make a Chinese lantern because like I've always been interested in like Asian heritage and like Chinese mythology and like Japanese culture and Chinese culture, and yeah. So I did this when I went to Chinatown. I don't know why I was in Chinatown. I don't live anywhere near London, but like this is kind of cool. I remember like I ripped the paper and then, or I think, yeah, I must have ripped the paper and then just stuck the red in like behind it, or vice versa. It's kind of cool though. I've got text which is flipped upside down so you can't read it, and it's all like tea stained. It's kind of cool, to be fair. Oh yeah, and then this was my like brief design that I wanted. Like this was the lantern I was going to construct. These were like all my notes on how I was going to do it. This was my image, and like you had to do a lot of artist research and like drawings. So again, this was like a little drawing I did of it. It's not very good. It's not very what's the word I want? It's not very well blended, was the process of me making it. So this is like the pictures I've got in my final piece. I think they kept it, to be honest. Like, it looks kind of good. I made it out of paper mache, a balloon, and then I put wire along it to keep its shape. And then I used tissue paper to like line it, and then I attached string to the bottom with little like beads and stuff. Looks pretty cool, to be fair. Again, it could have been better. And then for some reason here I have some just very random pictures. I don't quite know why. Then I have this background which like separates my two projects, I guess. I don't know if I did something more nature based or something. That's pretty cool looking though. Oh god, oh god, oh god, I just remembered what this is. Oh god, oh fuck. Jesus Christ, it's gonna get so cringe. Okay, so we must have done 2 cycles of it. We had different project cycles, and my second one was issues or something. So around the time, like this must have been 2016, so like there was a lot of political shit going on in the world. So this was my introduction to issues, you know, all cute and flowery, and then bleh. As you can see, Bev took out a lot of her feelings in her artwork. And those are just kind of some of the issues I wanted to research into. So for me, like, I was very much going through my eating disorder at this point and like mental health and shit. You can see how thick my neck is, good god. We love thyroid problems. Anyway, and then that's a little explanation about the issues I chose and like what issues are. I wanted to do problems of an average girl, so like I'm a teenage girl might have feelings. The little like line thingies have always been very prevalent in my art. They are like my thing. That kind of originates from like Keith Haring, kind of like Mr. Doodle. Like that is my favorite kind of like genre. Now, fun fact, I fucking loved getting paper and just fucking putting it in a bath bomb. Like, look at how sparkly it is. So we had to do a lot of photo shoots. So for this, I just went around Bristol and I took pictures of various Banksys and like photoshopped them in and stuff. And then I remember doing this specific page when I was on holiday in Spain, because it was GCSE year and like I didn't want to fail my classes basically. Oh, this was our last holiday as an actual like family, damn. Because, you know, my dad was ill. It's so cool though. It looks like I have a few different artists. So I have Banksy, I have Barbara Kruger, and Peter Kennard. It's pretty cool, but like my main focus for this was Banksy. Lots of pencil drawings highlighted in red, which is cool. I remember we had to do like a painting thing. I don't quite remember what this was for. Evidently I did not use a ruler because these buildings are going walk. Did not finish it, not very good. And then this is Wafa Hurani. that might be like my artist research, and then that might be like my development piece. I'm not quite sure. I remember like doing this when I got into the fever and just like not really knowing what I was doing. The noise. Ooh, she ripped. I remember for my trial, like, we had a mock GCSE at the end of year 10, so I wouldn't have had glandular fever at that point. I just don't remember. Yeah, at the end of year 10 or like the beginning of year 11, we had a mock GCSE, and for it I wanted to look at like newspaper clippings of like slander and stuff, and then like have a person be like the main focus. And then there's something about expressionism because I had a lot of pent-up feelings, whoa, and like some cool little like drawings. These were painted pictures, and then I just drew the backgrounds and like coloured in the faces. Like I'm not that talented. I can't draw people for shit, which you will probably see at some point. This, for example, was what I was kind of thinking in terms of final piece, like what I wanted to do. So like showing lots of different things, like, oh, you don't know who you are, like I had more issues in Vogue, and like this was a picture taken from like the old women's hospital or something, and like you'd go through that door if you were getting like abortions and stuff, like in the olden days. There was a little explanation about it. Don't want to read it because cringe. Oh, I don't know. Just basically talking about like feminism and like insecurities and stuff, because at this point I was like an artist development from Barbara Kiger. So I did a picture of a Skittles packet, and then I used some juxtaposition, like treat yourself, maybe just one, you know. And then again, I remember doing this background the day I found out my dad had cancer. I remember not being able to go to school that day because I was so fucking sad, and I just stayed home and drew. But this was sculptures, so I don't really know where I was going with this. The background's cool though. A for effort and backgrounds. Oh shit. I did a lot on sculptures, I vaguely remember. So this one, this page is like this. Got lots of like images, like lots of artist research that I didn't actually look into. Just kind of stuck it in for extra grades, you know. But this artist that I actually really like, Jan Voorman, who does loads of work with like Lego and stuff. I follow someone on TikTok who's very similar. I don't know if it's this guy exactly, but like he's some of the art that's always stuck with me, which like is weird looking back now, because people like Logan and Jake Paul have like installations in their house by like an artist inspired, or that artist exactly. I remember we started making sugar skulls as well. I don't know why I didn't complete it. I just didn't. Like I got halfway through and just got bored and did other things. Oh my god, this! This was when I got my first ever laptop. If you go onto my laptop now, I still have this document like open and saved. I could not tell you why. I fucking love this. This whole section was based on... Oh, okay, right, never mind. Hold up, I lied. So my next section is photography. And we've got works from Abigail Reynolds, Andrew Ludwell, and I don't know who that person at the top is. I can't read my handwriting. More bad on paper. La la la. And like, yeah, there's just like a mix of images I took while I was in London, because apparently I was going to London quite a lot this time. And just like I edited some pictures, so like specific colours were like highlighted, or like things had different visual effects on. So this was around the time when Snapchat introduced filters, and I just went ham on this random picture that I found when we went to an art gallery and edited him. And like I wanted red to be like the main center focus, so I thought it was cool to have like all dangly boy. because we went to an art gallery on an art trip. I feel like everyone does an art trip. That's partly why you do art, like, because you just know at some point you get a day off to just fucking wander around and be like, interesting. Or if you were part of my art year, like, you just took pictures for Instagram and you were like, oh, it's so beautiful. You're like, we're art hosts. It was around the time where, like, everyone posts like this. And you're like, you know, it was like that era. But we went to the National Portrait Gallery and we saw their summer exhibition. This was in 2016. Very cool, very cool. It was like our main focus for a while. And then this was Upfest. So this was during the summer. I go to this every year. It is a festival in Bristol where there is lots of street art by lots of different artists. I remember going there, doing this, yeah. So I kind of explained here, like, what Upfest is, and then, like, some more artist research. So this is Julian Mugler, and he basically works, like, he paints and then he, like, draws tattoos over the top, because, shocker, I like tattoos, and I've just got random cutouts of fabric and paint swatches and stuff. And then this is where, like, my freedom work comes out. So I think this is where we started focusing more on Gcse stuff, and, like, I just needed to bulk up my book basically, so I just started drawing lots of random things. So I got a little hand. I don't know where you came from, sir. So we've got this picture that says freedom. It's got loads of, like, black newspaper clippings, and this one, I don't know. Oh, and then this was what I wanted to do for my big final piece, which I don't think I ever did. Or it was like we were planning the book that we wanted to use for GCSE. And you basically had to talk about, like, what you were going to include, because the way we did it was you had a book and then you also had, like, a final major project, which was, like, your big main piece, and this was, like, the supporting evidence as to why you did it. And then, like, I had material swatches of what I wanted to use throughout, you know, more that fucking bath bomb paper, dude. This was, like, where I just needed to bulk, so I literally just included loads of random shit, like, a week before my hand-in date. So it's just lots of pictures. I wanted to focus a lot more on, like, my previously mentioned, like, Chinese work, like, with the lantern and stuff. Like, Chinese Impressionism, I suppose you could call it. Yeah, like, I felt like I didn't have enough stuff, so I kind of bulked at the end. So I've got, like, this really beautiful material. I've got a dragon drawing that I drew. Just, like, lots of little cutouts. I got this girl, which, by the way, I did not draw all of these from scratch. Like, I etched the fuck out of these. I copied these. I cannot draw freehand for shit. And yeah. And then just, like, this is just extra bulk up work. So that is some development from Mifu, which she is a traditional painter who works with, I believe, silk. I don't really remember, because it was like 5 years ago. Just a random painting. Some more random artist research. I think I got lost here. I'm just like, fuck it, artist research, everything. You can tell I was playing a lot of Sims here because everyone's got fucking plumb bobs above their head. Can you even see? Dude, like... you can tell I just got my laptop and I was, like, learning how to edit on it. I was talking a bit about why I chose her work to look at, and, like, this was all, like, Halloween in public and stuff. I don't really know. Me and my... I fucking remember this page. Me and my friend Holly, we were in the same DT class, and, like, we just got fucking bored one day. And we just started, like, cutting shit up. And we were like, oh, we're finished with our work. Can we do our artwork instead? Because we shared rooms. They were like, yeah, go for it. And we were like, haha, okay. So we just started, like, cutting and pasting, like, random shit from magazines that we found. Holly, do you remember that? And then some artist research from the Lego guy from earlier. like going back to it, you can see I made little cutouts of like Lego, because I did not own Lego. I only just now own my first Lego set. And just like I placed them around like my house. So like that is Mew Mew Power, a manga. It makes me laugh so much that I was like, fuck it, manga. It can go in there. It's weird to see my house looking like that though, because like we've had work done on it since then. So like we got it on a fish tank. Yeah, it's fucking weird. Anyway, next up, this was meant to be a picture of someone. I can't remember who. It was someone I had a crush on. I have a feeling it was meant to be like Andy Biersack. It just does not look like him. It looks more like Noel Gallagher. But like even then, it's not a good picture. I don't think it was meant to be Andy Biersack. I don't remember. But it's like someone from a band, probably knowing me. And then we got a big crying eye because I was sad. And then this is like a fucking music page that I came up with, and it's just got lots of lyrics and artists I liked at the time. So it's like you pull these out and it's got songs in the like little iPhone. So this one says Girls, Girls, Boys by Panic at the Disco. Because, you know, I was 100% sure I was straight then. So what kind of bands do we have? We have Melanie Martinez, Muse, Blink, Paramore, Dodie, State Champs, Royal Blood, 21 Pilots, Green Day, Zara Larsson, MCR, Motionless in White, Katy Perry, Panic at the Disco, Jimmy Eat World, Good Charlotte. Clearly my music taste has not changed. Do I have State Champs on here? Was this before I discovered State Champs? Oh no, they are on there. State Champs and As It Is are like my two favourites. And then again, these were just bulk up pieces. Reese's Puffs, eat 'em up, beat 'em up, beat 'em up. This fucking, I love this piece. This was like my element. I came back to this ages ago and like look at the fucking skin tones. I had never painted tones and like skin tones before. I remember I learned about like underlays and like undertones and stuff, and I fucking love this. Like I drew that design freehand. I talked a lot about like the photo shoot we had to do for this cycle, because I missed a load of work. Like I just did not do most of my work for art, I'll be honest, but like that's fucking cool. Like I would honestly do more stuff like this. Like that makes my heart happy. But I remember Joe, because like we had just become a thing at this point, so this would have been like January 2016. No, this would have been January 2017, like around that time, because I remember we were in school and it was after Christmas. I remember showing him, he was like, it's a leg. I was like, it's not snow. I'm getting really pissy at him. Ew. Did I forget a page? I forgot a page. So that's why I did this, because I was looking at more Julian Mugler, which like I showed you their work previously. This was more like in depth. Like you had to show the artist you wanted to research, and then you had to pick one to like actually look at. And then this was me experimenting with different skin tones. Evidently, I did not know what a dark skin tone was. Well done, previous me. But on this one, yeah, the shaping is not very good, but we move. And then we've got the painting on the next page, I guess. Yeah, and like why I chose to do it like that. These are just some random pictures that my mum found, and she let me photocopy. So when she was younger, she lived in Malvern, those are Malvern Hills. That's Uncle Derek hitting her over the head. And yeah, I think that is it. Fuck it, I can show you this. There's only a few pages, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Anyway, so for my final major project, I chose out of place to be my topic. Like it was one of the stimulus we had. We had like shelter issues, and because I did issues before, I wasn't allowed to do that one. Like you're not allowed to carry something through from first year. So I did Out of Place. I think this is all watercolor. Like, I got my first professional like watercolor set at this point because my dad really loved the idea that I was super into art. So he spent like a lot of money and got me like good shit. So this was my idea of Out of Place, so having people like with discombobulated faces, I guess. And then just some examples of how amazing I am at drawing hands. Just kidding, hands scare me. If you look at any of my recent drawings of hands, they are not good. I cannot draw hands for shit. Like, I don't understand how those look so good. And it's just showing like the power of hands. You know, little baby me was apparently very into. I remember I spent ages on this painting. Yeah, let's show it like this actually. I spent so long on this painting. I was so proud of it and it looked really good. I was learning how to like shade and like what's the word I want? Like shadow effect, and like it looks so cool. And then on this side we've got work by Jessica Harrison, and if you don't know her, she is probably the most influential artist I have ever like seen work from. I went to Banksy's exhibition Disneyland, and she had a display there, and basically her main work is she takes traditional what are you made of porcelain dolls and basically just fucking makes them cool. She tattoos them using, I think it was acrylic paint and like markers and stuff, and she just makes them look really cool, and like that has always stuck with me. I remember seeing that and thinking, whoa, being a tattooed woman is fucking cool. It's just ironic now. It's weird looking back at my influences and like realizing that art really did shape me. I'm always like, I don't like art that much. Just kidding, I fucking love it. Art really shaped me, and I feel like it's very apparent now looking back. So I kind of did, you'll see very quickly that in this art book I'm very fond of using cutouts of things. So this was like my photo shoot and what I wanted to use. So here it says use clear plastic to draw the tattoos with a tonal drawing underneath, and like I had drawing of some koi fish, which is actually kind of cool. So this was like my concept. Like, so my concept was I'd have the drawing underneath and then have something over the top with like the tattoos on. And so like that was pretty much what I was going for. Like I wanted to draw on like children and stuff to make it look weird. And then I remember I got taken out of PE classes because this was when I actually had glandular fever, and I literally did fuck all because like I was in bed for 6 months. We don't talk about that. Anyway, so I remember during one of my sessions where I was meant to be in PE, I just sat and I did this. Because you needed to have loads of artist research, so it was a bit like before where you'd have like 3 artists and then you focus on one, but you do like development for all of them, and it had to be like very in-depth. So instead of making a sculpture for that, because that was a sculpture artist, I did like a drawing of it. So my concept for this was a jar, and then you have like eyeballs and a rose and some lavender, because everything was very like gruesome and like taking something and then putting something weird in it. And then we've got some Andrew Ludwell, which I'm pretty sure I had some of his work in my old art book, not quite sure how I got away with this. And it's more just kind of like geometry, kind of shape based work, and like what kind of elements I'd use. So this was my development for that. And there's some really cringe work that I don't want to put on the internet on the next page. Stop being a little bitch, just show it. Okay, so I grew up in the early 2000s with The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, and when I was like 15, Riverdale came out, and I suppose they were still on like that first or second series where it was bearable. Like I was a little teenager, I was like, Cole Sprouse, ah. Or like Dylan Sprouse, I don't know which one. I'm so sorry. Hello. So he was my boy who I loved. It's weird to think he's like 30 now. But like I literally just deadass printed a picture of him and was like, look, he's got tattoos now. They're not particularly good. They were all done in Chinograph, which in hindsight I really wish I learned how to fucking sharpen Chinograph, because I just never did. Because if you used a normal sharpener it would like make it blunt. So on the next page I talk about my final piece idea, and for some reason I stuck some leaves in. I think I saw someone who was really good at art do it, and I was like, haha, I'm stealing your idea. And then in between, oh no, it's falling out. Oh, that's so tragic. I'll have to hold it. I have like some drawings of like this was my first like use of acetate. Like this is when I learned what it was, and I remember on the day of my exam they didn't have any, so my mum had to run to the shop, and like I nearly got disqualified from my exam because I didn't have all my supplies, but it was the school's fault. They were like, oh, we'll have it, and I just fucking didn't, even though I put in a request for it. Drawings, or like my art studies, I guess, because I wanted to focus on like the idea of having like animal tattoos, and I don't fucking know, I just like the idea of it, and talking about like flash sheets and stuff, and I was like, haha, if I'm a tattoo artist, this is my flash, you know. And then that was me just explaining my final piece, and some more leaves because my art teacher fucking loved it. She was like, you stick a flower in there, golden. And then again I stole more pictures from various things. Like this was my photo shoot, because at this point I was not allowed to leave the house because, like I said, I had glandular fever. And it's just lots of little things. So it's like my friend drew on her hand, like I'm 99% sure that's Holly, a fox I found online, you know, a little love heart drawing I drew, and just how it was all out of place. Like there's something I drew on Joe's hand. And for my photography I wanted to focus on things that were still out of place, and for some reason I have a picture of me and Joe in there. I do not know why. Yeah. Oh, okay, so in this page I'm talking about how tattoos can be used to explain different things, so like a loved one, a special event, or like parents, or like a pet, or like anything. So I've got different concept pictures and like days out with my friends. And then this was more development of it. There's baby Joe, there's a random girl. I thought that was very good. And this was something I did during my exam. Like I got bored halfway through. Like I didn't draw that. It was just like some tattoos. To be honest, I think this is where I got let down. But again, I had glandular fever. I was very fucking ill. I shouldn't have really been allowed to sit my exams, but we moved. I chose to do it. So this was my drawing. Like I said, I was not very good at drawing people. I feel like I'm a little bit better now. It's not something I personally have practiced recently, but like facial wise, I could definitely do better now. I just straight up traced it as opposed to like shading and like working out the dimensions and stuff. Yeah. Then on this one I wanted to look more at pattern work, which you can't really see. Oh. You can kind of see it a little bit better. I wanted to focus on pattern work and just like different patterns for tattoos and stuff. And then so you had to act like you'd done this before your exam, but our teacher was just like, if you have time in the exam, just do it. Because basically I did my pieces, I had like 3 main pieces, and then the rest were like flash sheet inspired by like that I did with Chinograph and acetate. And then this was just like ideas and concepts I could do, like as if I haven't just done my art exam. Yeah, like just different concepts. And then on here I have like tonal flash sheets, like stuff that I always meant to fill in, but I guess I ran out of time. So yes, that was my GCSE art books. They're actually pretty good looking back on it, and it's weird to see how like art shaped me. Because I don't think I've ever been I never thought I was like an influential person or like easily influenced, but like evidently I was. Like that flower girl tattoo, like drawing, like it's always subconsciously been up here, I guess. I am very much an art hoe. I love art. Like it is something that's very near and dear to my heart. Like I have lots of art up here. I love art in all forms of medium, like yeah. But like it's just cool how now that a few years later I'm back to working with my like first medium love, because I don't like colouring and drawing. Like it makes me feel weird. Like I can't describe it. I just don't like colouring. It irks, it like bugs me. I'm just like, I don't like it. So being able to draw on Chinagraph and flop it about and it just be there, you can put it against different like backdrops, it's very fucking cool. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up now. If you stuck around this long, you should subscribe. I make videos at least once a week, sometimes twice a week if I can be bothered. You will be getting 2 uploads a week now because it's birthday season, bitch. It's also back to school, which means yeah, lots of back to school content, and I still have like some other bits to throw in here and there. I have like some DIY stuff I want to show that I have been filming for months, like an accumulation of things I have made, like this video. I'm gonna go. Life's better when you've got painted nails, and I can't stop looking at my hands. I'm like, whoa, whoa. Daijo. Tell me you like jujitsu, guys, about telling me you like jujitsu, guys, and fuck, I make myself laugh at dumb things. Anyway, Daijo. Sayonara. Sayonara. Bye.